All right, I'm back. No, I'm not really back. I guess I'll just use this platform as a way to vent. Um, I don't expect anything out of it. I kind of was before, but it's just a way to get my ideas out there. The way I think, the way I think about things, what I think about things, and Rumble's cool. I think I'm less censored there, a lot less censored there. Basically uploading to YouTube is like everybody's got to basically have kid gloves if you want to be a content creator here. You can't really have a talk about really adult conversations. They don't like the advertisements don't allow it. And social media is pretty much just ad driven corporate greed trying to extract as much as they can. They don't really care about bringing up new creators, new fresh people. All they care about is right now. I need to have all even though that they have tons of money, they're all about. They're not about the art. They're not about the innovation. I haven't seen much innovation in really anything at this point. And it's like the only thing I've really seen innovated is AI, but it's not where I need it to be. I need to have my own AI assistant handling all my finances for me. Um, I need it to remember everything I tell it. So I still use AI and I use it to help me out because I don't know everything. Um, I don't trust cable media. I don't trust social media, and it's hard to trust AI. But I look at AI as like I'm probably when I look at like where I'm probably gonna get most of the truth is it's most likely going to be AI. And I'll make another video about this, but I get into the gist of it. I felt like for a while that men outnumber women. I felt like this for a while. I'm like, is this just the environments I'm in? Why do I feel like it's not? It's not. It's like it's because the dating market is so competitive for men. And it's like yeah, there's less women in the dating sites or whatever, but it's like why does it feel like this? So I'm like, I asked AI basically like what it feels like there's more. Is there any like truth to this? And it looked into the census of 2020 to 2025, and it basically told me I'm correct in my feeling. So I'm like, give me some links. You know what I mean? Like, I really usually don't research stuff that heavily like a journalist would. I'm not a damn journalist, I'm a regular person who comes out here and tries to tell it like it is. Um, so like it gave me links, and I'm just looking at like the initial thing. I'm like, what? They make it so confusing, so people don't look it up. So it's just like it would take me so much time. The way they got the dashboard set up too is it's so like like it's so primitive how they have it set up. It's not easy to deal with, and it's like yeah, it could be because of like the government is outdated. They're using outdated technology. That's what people say. Oh, it's the outdated. But it just kind of seems like it's intentional. They just like the finances. They make things boring where they don't want people to look under the hood of things. For instance, I was thinking to myself, what, for the longest time, I do the whole like claim whatever. So I get a refund usually because I'm poor. I don't make that much money. Like I generate $45,000 to $50,000 somewhere around there per year. which is poverty level. Like I'm basically a little bit above welfare, basically. Like I'm right on that edge, being in the working class. And I was thinking to myself, what? So they want 2% inflation a year, and what that means is it reduces your buying power. It devalues the money that is being held on. So if I have cash, or money just sitting in a bank, and it's not like I'm getting interest, and it does this for debt too. It decreases the value, the value. It devalues the debt as well. It devalues your purchasing power, but it also devalues the debt. So if the government's goal is 2% inflation per year, which we know what happened since 2020. So they're basically taking money from me all year. It's essentially a loan. And I was like talking to Grok, I'm like, they're essentially like, you're giving them a loan. They're taking money and then they give it back because they took too much. Well, if that's how they're doing it, then they're scamming us as well. So and they might only be scamming me a couple $100 per year. You know what I mean? Like $500. But somebody in my position, it is a lot of money. But it's not just that, it's also the principle of it, where they take your money and they hold it, like, because I'm a W-2 worker, and they hold it all year. So like you're getting hit with them, like it's getting devalued because they keep printing out more money. They won't stop, and they can't stop. So it's like, how about I do as much as I can, even if I have to owe at the end of the year, and I don't get like a big return, a couple grand or something like that, because they took. Maybe it's better if I just minimalize how much they take out, and then even if I have to pay a couple grand, maybe I have to pay a couple $100. I got to pay $1,000, but I have more money now, so I can allocate those to what maybe is paying off some debt, maybe it's acquiring some more assets, instead of waiting for them to like they're devaluing my loan to them. They take it out automatically. And I got to do some more research in this, by the way. So that's why I'm not making. This is just kind of an example, but like, and then when I get it back, it's worth less than if they would have just taken out less and I just pay. You know what I mean? At the end of the year or whatever. And seeing stuff like that, like the normal person, they don't think about, you know what I mean? That doesn't cross their mind. Wow, that's what's really happening. You know what I mean? Like the government is basically scamming me, and it feels good. Like you get that income tax return at the end. It's like a big fucking return, and you feel good. I'm trying to clean up my language, so like I can't believe I just dropped that. That's me being my authentic self, by the way. Me trying to tippy toe is not me being my authentic self. But, stuff like that. Seeing like how the government does what they do and normal people don't see it. And I just want to expose it. And I want things to run more efficiently. I want things to run better. I want things to work better, even if I don't benefit myself. Like for some ideas, I just want to be able to. I feel like if I come up with an idea and somebody makes it, it's like I'm benefiting because like I didn't want to make it, but like I'm benefiting because I'm using it. When I look at like how everything's happening right now, and I've probably said this in prior videos, where it feels like everything sucks. So yes, our smartphones are nice. Our TVs are nice. Stuff like that. The new cars have all the bells and whistles. That's nice. Don't really care about having all that. You know what I mean? But when it comes to living a regular life, connecting with other humans in person, it's so much more expensive nowadays. Whether it's commuting there because of high gas prices, or maintenance on the car. Like, I don't even really want to own a car anymore. I kind of I'm doing a job I really don't want to do, and part of the reason why I'm doing it is because, like, I have a normal schedule. I go in early in the morning. I get off at like a regular 9 to 5. Basically, it's a little bit. It doesn't matter, but my commute to work is literally 5 minutes if I drive. I've been riding my bike, and it's like 20 minutes to get home tops. Walking there is probably like 40 minutes. And I'm at the position where, since I've done so much driving, like commuting to get to work, I would rather walk an hour to work than drive an hour to work. That's where I'm at. Even dealing with like the harsh climates. So I want to live close to work. The best thing for me to live close to work would be like almost next door. Not quite next door, because I don't want to live somewhere where it's loud, and I don't want to see like a bulky factory or something in my background. But like, if it's like a 5-minute walk to work or like a 10-minute walk to work, that's beautiful. This is why I like the whole idea of a 15-minute city. I don't have to drive anymore. Like, I feel like I'm such an outlier in everything. I feel like I'm on my own island. Because I don't like to drive. I don't think it's freedom. No, you're free. Like, maybe in the past it was freedom. When gas prices were cheap, it was cheap to go somewhere. But now it's like, cars are so expensive. It costs so much to fix these cars. I live in, and I don't want to fix them. I don't want to learn to fix them. Hey, listen. You can say what you say. You can call me prissy. I don't like to get dirty. My job, I get dirty. I hate it. I hate getting grease on me. I don't like getting grease under my fingernails. If I get dirty a little bit and it washes off really quickly, that's cool. But I don't like to get dirty. I don't want to get greasy. So that's part of the reason why I never learned how to really fix a combustible engine, because I don't like the idea of I don't like being greasy. I don't like it. You can question my toughness all you want, but I guarantee you won't be able to keep up with me. But it is what it is. Most people won't be able to keep up with me. I don't know, maybe not, but most people won't be able to keep up with me in a lot of different facets of life. I'm tough as damn nails, considering everything that I've been through. And a lot of people won't be able to handle what I've been through. Not giving myself a pat on the back, which I should, but, I don't need anybody's validation. I'm to that point now where it's like, which is good. Like, okay, I decided to join Twitter again. I decided to, because I haven't been posting. I decided to take some time off. I took like a good month off. I haven't been posting on here maybe a month or two. Rumble, I don't post anymore. Twitter, I wasn't saying anything. Now, I've been observing. I haven't been really using YouTube as much. But I've been observing Twitter and TikTok. Busy in creating my own entertainment, because I just think that entertainment kind of sucks nowadays. So, like Phil Labonte, me and him kind of sparred a little bit in the past on Twitter, where he basically called me an idiot. And then he decided to follow me yesterday. Now, that's cool, and I'm not right where I need to be, but I don't want famous people or crowds to influence the way I think, to influence what I say. I don't want to hold my words, hold back what I say because of a certain group of people I'll offend. I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? That's cool. Like, you know, he's following me or whatever, but I don't want to sit here and be like, bow down to him, and devalue my opinion or what I think because he's got more clout than me. You know what I mean? And it's easy to, if somebody famous is giving you that validation, and it's like you don't want to lose that validation, you're gonna start trying to cater to, like, so you don't lose that validation from them. And I want to get to the point where I don't care. I'm getting there. Okay, I'm getting there, but I'm not quite where I need to be. It's a process. If I had my own clout, yeah, but you know, being somebody that, I have a tiny, like a minuscule. It's a minuscule. I actually had a good idea, and I pitched it to one of the producers on Twitter via her DMs. And the only reason why I don't like to DM women at all on any platform, and it was completely business. My idea, which she hasn't responded, was, hey, I got a Gen Z kid. You know, I asked him too. I'm like, hey, would you go on one of these would you go on Culture Wars? Because I think that's where this should go. I wouldn't want me and him to go on Timcast IRL if that ever did happen. I would want it just to be me. But I pitched the idea of like, hey, it would be cool to have a Culture War episode of, you know, you bring me and my Gen Z son, and we talk about why Gen Z is being radicalized. And you can hear it from the horse's mouth. Like, why he feels, you know, why, not to say he's radicalized or anything, but I'm just saying, like, he sees more than, like, we see as a, you know, older people. He's in the thick of it. So I thought that would be a cool idea. You know, maybe they'll respond, maybe they won't. I don't know. I thought it was a cool idea. But whatever I was going on with that, it doesn't. If you watch my videos, you're like, whatever. You know how I am. Kind of forget what I'm going. I kind of forget where I'm going with things. I get off on a tangent. I get sidetracked. So basically why I wanted to start making this video, all the stuff at the first, getting up to this point, it's like the way things are set up socially. I'm looking at my current job, and when I talk about where I work, this isn't to demean the company. This isn't to throw shade at them. No, it's like the company I work for is cool. Like I think they're cool. It's a cool environment. I think they treat their employees pretty fair. Like, to be honest, I think they're pretty fair. So, like, I don't think they go above and beyond, but I think they treat people pretty fair when it comes to like when I go to work, I go there so I can earn means to take care of myself and my family. That's what I mean. No, it's a smaller company, but the company's cool. I think they have their but for the job function I have, I just use it as an example because it goes across the board. Every place I basically work, it's the same type of setup. So I'm not going to talk about what I actually do when it comes to like specifics, but basically, I package. Okay, I package stuff. They create a product there, and then I have to make sure that the customer whoever orders, they order a specific amount, and I have to make sure that they get the specific amount in the proper package with the proper labels. So like so they get what they ordered. So there's a lot of responsibility when it comes to this. I have to make sure, because it's like, it's easy to mess up. It's easy to mislabel. It's easy to put it in the wrong package. Because like all the orders are different. It's not like, oh, we have the same 5 things we do, and it's just like, oh, okay. No, it's like it's different every day. So I have to be conscious. You know what I mean? And when you get to like doing a repetitive thing, you don't have to be as conscious. But I have to be conscious. I have to like look. I have to measure stuff out. I have to make sure it's the proper amount that these people ask for. Try not to give too much. Definitely don't want to like undershoot them. I try to be as accurate as possible. It takes a lot of responsibility for this, a lot of mental bandwidth to do this. And I think the company is pretty competitive for pay for what I'm doing, to be honest. I think they're pretty fair. Considering what else they are competing with. I think they're pretty fair. But we should be getting paid more. Not just like I'm saying like anybody that does blue collar work, factory work. So this isn't directed at the company I work for. This is directing at all the companies now. Okay, I was just using that as like I am a blue collar worker. And we still have this stigma where, like these office people are like so much smarter than us. You know what I mean? Because they know the technology. It's almost like we don't operate with technology ourselves. When pretty much like every job, I've worked at so many places and we use technology. We have smartphones. We have the ability to learn different things in, whatever, there's spreadsheets, or it's like these people that do the office work, unless like you're an engineer or a maintenance person. I have so much respect for these people. But it's not like these people are like creating, like they're Thomas Edisons or they're Nikola Teslas. You know what I mean? They're not really, they're higher IQ compared to the world, but they're not really like above and beyond. Like there's a huge discrepancy between the IQ of the average office worker compared to the bottom, blue collar workers that get treated like crap. There's not like it's not like a huge gap. It's really pretty much almost pretty damn close. Like a lot of these blue collar people like me, we can learn all the office stuff, and it's just like there's this certain things with like the status that they still have, and it's just kind of funny. I look at the parking lot and I'm like, the office workers park in one spot, and the blue collar, and this is like pretty much a lot of the places I work. And you see like the office workers have the brand new cars, and you see like the people like me have like they use kind of banged up cars, and it's kind of like, why is a blue collar worker still not making anything? You know what I mean? Like you rely on us, and it's like, why do we value somebody risking their personal assets more so than somebody like me risking my fingers, my limbs, my own life. Why is that more valuable? It's so weird. It's so weird to think about it like that. Like it's just there's somebody's assets are more important than human life. And that's where we're at in our society. And I was thinking about this too. If I was somebody that was starting a business, I'm starting a business because I want to make things better for my environment. I want to make things better for my community. I don't care about getting the most out of the company so I can live high on the hog somewhere. No, I genuinely love the product or the service I'm creating, because I want to make things better for the world, not just self-interest. And I think that's where the disconnect happens when you see these CEOs making on an average like 250 times more than somebody like me. It's like, why do you need to make that much? You know what I mean? Why are you separating? You're not a god. You're not a king. What are you trying to do? It just feels like, what it feels like is there's like an extraction. They keep all these companies keep extracting, and they're just like, what else can they take from the bottom? It's like, without us, shipping, creating, packaging, service, creating a service, without us, you wouldn't be in business. And yes, if they didn't do the risk or whatever, I wouldn't have a job as well. We need each other, but why are you so much higher? It's cool. If you're making 17 times more than me, back in the 1960s or the it's that's okay. I have no problem with people who are doing more mental responsibilities making more than me, but it needs to lower it, because it's unless you're a Nikola Tesla and creating innovate huge awesome things, why is there such a huge discrepancy between us? You know what I mean? Why? And it just feels like they keep on taking and taking some more. What can we take from these bonnets? But if we just stop working, if we just stop showing up to work, you're done. We're done too, but you're done. You know what I mean? It's just it just feels disrespectful. That's what it feels like. When these CEOs are making 250 times more than I make, and I'm not sure, and like I said, this is a general. I'm not talking anything bad about the company I work for. I think is solid, but it's why? Why do you have to make so much more? What do you like? And at the same time, you're telling us about the climate crisis, and you live in these huge, extravagant places. It's how much energy does it take for you to keep your extravagant mansion cool? You don't use AC? These people are using AC. It's they just want to separate themselves they're gods. And it's dude, you're not that special, man. You're really not that special. Unless you're a Nikola Tesla or whatever, creating I don't see that. I see things, honestly, just getting worse and worse. Social media is horrible, dude. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't even kind of want to use it. Facebook, I don't even want to use it. I go on there, okay, when I was using it 10 years ago, I would only see my friends. That's the only thing that will pop up on my newsfeed. Now if I go on Facebook, I get all these people that show up on my news feed who I don't know because they paid to go in there. And I guess, yeah, oh, you're using the, maybe I have better controls if I pay. Maybe that's what's happening. And here's the thing is, as I would. I have no problem, but we don't make that much. Like, they don't want to give us that much. Like, they have taken the middle class out, and they've made it elite or poor. That's where we're headed, and it's like it's so expensive just to live as a normal human being, like it was like 20 or 30 years ago. And I feel like I can only afford. I feel like I can't get hurt. Number one, if I get hurt, I'm done. If I get severely sick, I'm done. Regardless if I have the health insurance or not, I can't afford 5-10 grand for a bill. I can't afford their deductible they want me to pay. The deductibles didn't even exist 10 years ago for the most part for health insurance. Maybe it was 15. But the health insurance it's like, okay, since like the government isn't representing me anymore and they only care about themselves or like the elites or foreigners, like they take taxes from me and then they give it to foreigners. They want to fight foreign wars that have nothing to do with us. Why am I being taxed at all? Like, if I don't have a say so, why do I have to pay any taxes? I shouldn't have to pay any taxes, and I should have free healthcare at this point. If you make under a certain amount, if you make under 100,000, 70,000, whatever, I'm basic. Like, I'm working, I'm going to work, and I work a real job. Like, I don't, these people on the right, they said, oh, you don't work, you need to gain skills. Like, first off, I am working hard, okay? So don't ever tell me I don't work hard. And if I learn something, I have to want to learn something. So like plumbing, do I really care about learning how to become a master plumber on top of me going and working my slave job? Do I really want to do that? No. Nobody wants to do that. And when you go on something like Twitter, that's what they push out. Oh, you got it. Dude, I've already done enough. I've done enough. So this is the point I'm getting to. Is like, okay, so I want less responsibility then. I don't want more responsibility. I want less because you won't compensate me properly. And that's what I'm trying to get with this. Like, these companies want to keep putting responsibility on us, but they don't want to pay us right. And it's like, I'll take on that responsibility, but you need to compensate me. I shouldn't even have to worry about money, to be honest. Money should be the last thing I'm worrying about because so much should be coming in that I don't have to worry about inflation and all these bills. I shouldn't have to think about it. Just pay my bills or whatever, but I should have such an influx of cash coming in that covers all of my bills, so I don't have to worry about balancing this, cutting out health insurance, cutting this out, basically painting myself in a corner where I can only go to work or come home. So for me, I've made some mistakes, and I've made some mistakes 10 years ago, 5 years ago, because nobody I didn't learn. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to stay like these people on the right. So it's like you have to suffer forever. It's kind of like, dude, I've been grinding like 10 years, dude. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? So my goal at this point, because like I don't like my job. I don't like what I do. I work in the extreme heat. I hate working in the heat. I hate it. Oh, this guy don't do the job. Well, maybe there's no jobs out here that I have to work in the heat. That's what I have to do. Oh, move somewhere else. Whatever, dude. It's just so like with these people, they're pretty unrealistic because they live like they're insulated, so they have all these resources, and it's easy for them to go ahead and like look down on people and be like, you can do this, you can do that. Yeah, you know how much energy you have to put out that way to make that happen. It's not as easy as these people make it sound. So like I'm looking at things, I'm like, yeah, I've acquired some debt, I make some mistakes. And part of the reason why I'm in the position I am in, because I have debt, just like everybody does, and they make it sound like you are a horrible person because you've acquired debt when the government is, after 2020, like this inflation, there are price gouging that going on, them trying to reduce, the lower, they don't want to touch the middle, they don't want to touch the white collar people's, nothing for them, but they just want to keep taking from us. They want to keep taking and taking from us, and it's like, you rely on this, man. Once you stop taking from us and start giving back, and you look at this and you're like, I'm paying what am I doing? Like, is my environment getting better? Are the sidewalks old and dilapidated? Am I seeing dilapidated buildings everywhere? My town I live in is it's okay, but I still see dilapidation going on. What is my tax dollars going to? I have a car. I have to pay property taxes on my vehicle. So what that means is the state owns part of my car. Do they pay the maintenance on my car? No. Do they pay the car insurance on my car? No. They just take a cut of it. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating. I don't even want to own a car. I don't even want to own a car. I mean, quite frankly, I don't even want to go to the store. I wish things were really cheap, or I could just be like, boop, 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 just deliver it. Because I don't want to do it no more. I don't like to drive. Yeah, the only time I like to drive would be like if I'm going like cross country, going somewhere far, and I'm with people that like we're excited. We're excited to go check out this destination together, this experience together. You got the music cranking. We're just like, open road. I don't find driving in a town or a city fun. I don't feel like that's freedom. Stop, go, stop, go. You know how I like to drive when I do on Grand Theft Auto? And you can't do that in real life. Swerving in and out of traffic. No, like just breaking every single law, every single traffic law. That's what I like to do, because it's just like, I want it to be fast. Not just so, it's just, I don't understand why people are just so obsessed and think that having a car is so much freedom. Anyway, so let me actually talk about what, so I'm going off on all this. I've had a lot of stuff built up. So it's like if you're not gonna pay me for having all this responsibility, if you're not gonna pay me right, you're gonna basically look at me as cheap labor, then I want less. So it's like, okay, then my goal is to make things as cheap as possible, make my bills as less as possible. I want less bills as possible. Get my debts down as close to zero as I possibly can. Then I can just go work a regular grocery store job or something like that. I don't care. I'll work a fast food job. I don't care. I want something with less stress, with less responsibility, if you're not going to pay me right. That's where we're at as a working class. I don't know if other people feel like that, but that's how I feel. It's like, if you're going to have all this, if I'm going to have to like have all these responsibilities, making sure, I'm not talking about my current job. I've worked at so many jobs this last 10 years, and it's the same across the board. If you're going to have all this responsibility, if I have to have all this responsibility, I want to get paid like almost like these white collar workers. and I should be. Whatever it takes for that. If you have to use AI to eliminate some of these white collar jobs and trickle down that money to us, or lower your CEO salary so you can trickle that money down to us so we can afford health insurance, whatever that, even if it's a scam. Where I work actually has some, like, they do a pretty good job with the health insurance compared to what I've seen. Like I said, where I work, they take care of their employees pretty solid. This is an overall gripe of the whole system that we live in America, because it's similar across the board. It's the blue collar gets shafted. We're gonna keep taking from the blue collar worker, and the white collar is pristine. We can't take from them. We can't take from the white collar worker at all. Just the blue collar worker, because we're scum, and that's what it feels like. It's like, okay, I'm being looked down on for status in this society because of what I do, and I'm not going to get paid right. Then why do I want to keep doing this? It's not like the government is making my environment better with my tax dollars. No. They give it to people who come here illegally. They just get, here, you're on welfare now. Why don't I just go on? Why don't, you know what? Hey, blue collar workers, why don't we just all go on welfare? Then nothing will get done and all of this will be destroyed. Like, this is what you guys don't understand. It's like, you guys are on like thin ice. Because we are at the bottom we don't care. We're almost getting to the point where we just don't care. And I'm going to give you, I want to tell you something right now. Gen Z don't care. And in fact, they probably want the system to collapse. And what I don't want the government to come in here and say, like, oh, we're going to take more taxes from the billion. Like, this is the problem. It's like, okay, but what are you going to do with that? We're going to take more, like, this is what they say on the left. Like, we're going to take more taxes from the billionaires. And they don't say themselves, the millionaires. We're going to take some. Then what are you going to do with that tax dollars? Oh, we're just going to keep giving it to foreigners. Like, our government is just extracting from us and making us pay for other people. And it's like, I have to accept a lower standard of living while working really, really hard. And then you're just giving my money to people who don't have to do anything. And they're not even from this country. And then they wonder why people are becoming radicalized. They're wondering why people don't care anymore. What do you think is going to happen in 5 years if I'm rooting for the robots to save us. But if we keep doing what we're doing right now for the next 5 years, what do you think is going to happen when we keep up? We're not going to be sitting at 40 trillion in debt. We're probably going to be sitting at 45 to 50 trillion in debt. What's going to happen with the insurance, we're not insurance, but the interest payments on the debt? It's going to keep going up. Yeah, right now it's what? $1 trillion? It'll fluctuate depending on like interest rates, but it's like $1 trillion last time I checked. I'm sorry, financial people, I don't keep up with it like daily like you do. But from the last time I checked, it was like $1 trillion that we spend a year on our debt. So if we only make I think the AI said our GDP or something 5 to 6 trillion a year. Well, if it takes 7 trillion to run our country with the budget, and we 5 to 6, you see what's happening? We have to keep printing out money every year, and we have less people. We're making less America, so we have to keep importing people. Why are we making less people? Well, there's more men than there is women here. You know what I mean? So there's from age 5 to I think it was 59. There's more men in every single age group or males all the way up to 59. Then it reverses. Oh, I wonder why there's a demographic collapse. I wonder why housing's so expensive. Yeah, it's it's immigration. That's definitely a part of it. Illegal immigration and legal immigration. But it's also so many single people as well because they've divided us so much. It feels intentional. It feels like they want us to eliminate ourselves or eliminate each other. That's what it feels like. It feels like they're constantly demoralizing us. You wake up, go to work, you don't feel like you're really going anywhere. Like for me, I don't feel like I'm going anywhere. You're sitting in the same spot. You just see like things go up in prices and your wages don't keep up because the government won't. And it's just like, dude, I'm just tired. Dude, can things be stable? Can we have some stability? Unfortunately, we're probably not going to have that anytime soon. But we owe $1 trillion right now. Well, what's going to happen when we owe $2 trillion a year? When almost half of our GDP or whatever is taken up because of the interest payments on our debt. At some point, something's going to get cut. Something's going to break. So I think the first thing that's going to get cut is welfare, because they're going to want to save the boomers, the old people, before they save the people on welfare, I think. So if I was a person on welfare and SNAP, I would do whatever it took to get the hell off of that. It's hard as heck. I have some ideas to help to try to help get people off of there. First off, we need some good paying jobs. And I think that, welfare should be treated like unemployment. Like, okay, you came up onto some hard times. It's a temporary fix. It's not a lifetime. You're not going to keep pumping out more kids so you can stay on welfare longer. No, it's like, okay, yeah, like you're about to be homeless. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to make it so you don't have to pay your expenses for the next year. Go out there and start building your life back up. Go work and save that money. You know what I mean? Pay your, whatever you got to do, acquire skills as well. We're going to handle your living. They don't want to do this for America. Like they do for Americans, but they just want to keep us on there. They're not trying to get us off. But the reason why people don't want to get off is because they start cutting their benefits when they, it's just like, if they make it too much, then it's like, okay, you cut their benefits off, okay? But it's like, if they're going out there and if it's reasonable, keep paying for their housing and all that stuff so they can build themselves up and get some momentum. Nobody's gonna want to sit here and like try to get off of welfare. Most people don't want to. If like they see their welfare benefits dropping, and it's like, why would I want to do a job I don't want to do? And I could have just been like living for free. So there isn't really incentives for people to get off of the welfare. It's like they want to, but they're gonna have to pick something. They're gonna have the military budget. Like they're gonna have to. We cannot keep doing what we're doing. It's just so basically what I just considering the fact that like the dating market is highly competitive. Even women my own age, they're just. I might as well date somebody like that's in their 20s, basically, because they're almost just as immature anyway. So like, I don't really have any prospects of a wife or a partner to be by my side till I'm dead. So if I might as well just exert as less energy as I can into the system. Just to try, you know what I mean? If I'm going to take on these responsibilities, like I do at my current job or the jobs I've had, I want to be compensated properly. I want to feel like I don't have to think about money. Like, I'm good. I don't care about this debt I have because I have money. I have tons of money coming in. I don't have to. I don't want to sit here and be like, I don't. A lot of people probably feel like that. Maybe I'm the only one that feels like it. Maybe I'm in a special place where I'm the biggest loser in the world. No, I'm not. I've had 29 years in this work environment. I've been paying into Social Security. I'm not going to get that. Maybe I will. I don't know. But I don't like when I hear people say that fast food people or people who work in the service industry shouldn't get paid a livable wage, I'm just like, okay, then you want to support them with your tax dollars. So this company can just like keep making tons of money for the people at the top. That's what you're essentially saying. And it just feels like the system is people at my level, you're in a socialist system, and the people at top are in a capitalist system. It's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna defend capitalism no more. You're gonna have, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna start. Hey, let's just make things socialized. Like, if it's gonna suck for me, it's gonna suck for you, rich people too. Okay. That's where we're basically at. That's where I'm at. Like, if it's gonna suck for me because I have to basically keep existing with no carrot on the stick, I want it for you too. Because if you were making products and services that were absolutely amazing, like back in the 90s, like the innovation was just so awesome. You know, it's just like entertainment, and it's just like you can go to the movies. Like, yeah, you couldn't go all the time, but it's like, yeah, you can feel like you can go to the movies. You feel like you can go do this. You feel like you can go to a concert, splurge a little bit. You don't feel like you can at all. And it's just, there's not good products. They're just not. You know, when you see something like PlayStation say we're not going to make physical games anymore, which, you know, I like digital games up to a certain extent. I like the concept. I don't like how they can ban you, how I paid for it. I basically feel like games should be free. Oh, why would you do it? Because they're just putting out the same game. If they were putting out brand new innovative games, I'd be like, yeah, okay, you can charge full price. But if you're just gonna like repackage the same thing, why are you charging full price? So, you know, like, so PlayStation's gonna not make physical copies anymore and still charge full price for these games. It's like, well, you just cut out shipping, you cut out manufacturing. So why the heck are you charging full price for these games? You know, that's where we're at. That's just an example of like what's happening right now. It's like a complete ripoff, and they've monopolized things to a lot of different things where you have no choice. You know what I mean? Like, for me, the whole concept of my team, the concept is cool, but it's like, or my player, it's a cool concept. I don't like where it just doesn't interest me anymore. I never cared about the my team anyway. So it's like, everything that I've done, all the grinding, maybe actual capital that I put into the game, it just doesn't matter because you put a new game out that I have to pay full price for. And everything that I've done doesn't matter. I just lost it all. Why? Why would I buy your new product? Why would I buy it? It's just going to be the same thing. I want to be able to extract. I want to be able to, okay, I'm not, like if I'm playing some Hero Quest game, I found some sword that everyone wants. They're going to pay me lots of real money for. I want to make some money off of this. the whole cards thing with the My Team. If I have something, somebody wants to buy it off of me, but if I don't have the new version, and it's like in-game currency. It's not even like currency I can. We need to be able to make these. This is what I'm talking about. There's like no innovation. The video game is like there's no innovation at all. They just keep extracting. They don't want to make things better. And this is like across the board. It's what it feels like everywhere. It feels like we're being demoralized. That's what it feels like. And like at this point, I hate rich people. I hate you. I hate you. I don't want to hate you, but it's just like, why you gotta be like that? You know what I mean? What, like, you don't have to be like that. You don't have to keep extracting. You can give back. But when I connect dots, like our communities are crap. It's gonna bleed over to your communities. So you can live in your communities, but eventually you're gonna get yours. You know what I mean? You want to keep flooding our communities with these people who aren't the most intelligent people, who basically can't live in a civil society without being taken care of. You want to keep doing that? Go ahead. It will bleed over to your communities one day. But you guys only think about right now or the next 3 months. You don't think too far ahead, do you? Whatever, man. Keep kicking down. You can't kick. At some point, you won't be able to kick the can down the road anymore. At some point, you're not going to be able to keep extracting from us, which I don't like. I'm at a point where I really don't care about owning anything. I'll pay for, but I want to be able to live a life where I can go be mobile. I want to be able to feel like I can afford to go here. I can go there. I don't want to feel like I'm in a prison. I feel like I'm in an economic prison. I think a lot of Americans feel like we're in an economic prison. And then we see our tax dollars going overseas. We see our tax dollars going to the foreigners. And it's like, at some point, like what I feel like I'm in a comfortable prison. That's what I feel like I'm in. I'm in a comfortable prison. I don't have to worry about, watching my back because I'll get stabbed or something worse, sexual, happening to me. But I can only afford to go to work and come home. And it's been like this for years. And a lot of people are just going to get tired. Like, I want to go experience the world. And I don't feel like I can. I want to connect with other humans. I don't feel like I can. Everything is just too expensive. It's too much of a risk. It's too much of a risk for me to get a skateboard and try to start skateboarding again. If I get hurt, I'm done. There's no, this like, how is like, it just feels like the people in my position aren't being taken care of, and we're tired. We're tired. And me personally, I'm tired of making lemonade out of lemons. It's just like constant, like, okay, I don't even expect anything joyful anymore. I don't even expect anything good anymore. It's mostly like, okay, I just expect bad things to happen. Something's gonna break. Oh, I gotta take care of this. Yeah. It's not like, this thing is, that's cool. Heck yeah. I'm excited for that. I'm looking for, no, it's like, yeah, I guess, yeah, something else to make me behind again. Something else to keep me in debt. I guess that's it for this video.